Hi there, Lloyd Machedo speaking to you from lloydmachedo.com, who's Lloyd Machedo and Think Personal Branding. All right. Timestamps for this video will be put down below. I just thought I would have a discussion with you guys and share my thoughts. I'd posted this update community post 6 hours ago, and I'd asked them, the topic voting was, I'm planning to make a roast on Indian women and Indian men. Which one would you like to watch first? And P.S. I put Russell Peters, somebody going to get hurt real bad. Okay. So the highest number of votes that were given was fact lawyer has run out of content, is desperate for views, which was 34%. Then the second highest was put both the videos. I would love to see both, which was at 31%. Third highest was I would love to see Indian women's roast first, 25%. And last was I would love to see the roast of Indian men. If you calculate overall, people want to see the roast more than they don't want to see the roast. Okay, if you calculate 31 plus 25 plus 10. However, just so that you know, I'm not running out of content. I have another 127 topics written in advance, and I'm not desperate for views because my revenue model is not based on views. Okay, but then. I had finished, let me show you. I'd finished making the video recording on my GoPro. Whenever I get up in the morning, I make the video. So I'd made the video roasting women. It was around 42 minutes. And then I made a video roasting men, which was, I think, 32 or 33 minutes. However, after I made that video, I was like, I don't know, it just felt kind of empty inside. It was rather strange. I asked myself that, okay, I'm roasting men and women. It's more like I'm making fun of them. But then what is the value that they will get? What is the value? Because at the end of the day, it becomes more like you're making fun of someone and people will badmouth you. So I don't know, I just didn't feel right. Then anyway, I had to go shopping with my wife. After I went shopping and came back, I decided that I would share a topic, the same topic. Instead of roasting Indians, I would rather share the reasons why Indians are not succeeding. Why is it that Indians, with all the talent in the world, Indians are exceptionally talented, group of people. But why is it that Indians, even with all the talent in the world, they're not succeeding in life? So that's a big question. And then I thought to myself, I think that would be more productive if I focus on why is it that Indians are not succeeding with all the talent in the world. So I thought that would be a good topic. So keeping that topic in mind, I jotted down a couple of points. And to my surprise, I came up with 27 points. Now, what I'll do is I will put timestamps down below, just so that you can check whichever point you like. And I'm just going to go free flow. I'm not going to look at statistics or google.com, but I'm just going to give you my opinion as to why Indians with all the talent are not able to succeed in today's world, today's global economy. So go through this 27 points, which I'll put down below. Each point is there. And let me know your thoughts. And if in case you feel I'm wrong somewhere, you feel, no, Lloyd, this is wrong or whatever, feel free to put your thoughts down below. However, the only thing which I would request you not to do is stop justifying something. Let's say, for example, a small example. If suppose I were to highlight, not for this topic, suppose I were to highlight there is rape happening in India, which is a problem. Now, the answer to that is not, oh, what do you mean rape is happening in India? There is more rape happening in US. There is more rape happening in Europe. So now, if there is rape happening in Europe or USA, does that mean it's okay? There's no problem in India? I mean, we are focusing on a problem that is there in India, and we need to focus on a solution. So by saying, oh, there is more rape happening in US, doesn't solve the problem in India, right? Okay. So keep that in mind. And based on this, I'll give you the 27 points. Let me know what you think. And, let's have a discussion. Okay. So the first point that I thought about, why Indians, find it so hard to succeed in today's global economy, is, number one, I think the biggest problem is there is an oversupply of Indians. Okay, India is the second highest population in the world, nearly the highest in comparison to China. And that is why anywhere in the world you go, whether you go to Dublin, whether you go to Dubai, whether you go to Denmark, whether you go to Doha, any place in the world, okay, you'll find an Indian. In fact, there is that joke which people say, you go to the moon and there you'll see an Indian selling kadak chai. In fact, they say even if you go to Mars, Elon Musk, if he lands in Mars, he will definitely find an Indian, Malayali or someone selling chai. Now, the reason why that joke is there, or the reason why that statement is there, is because anywhere in the world you go, you will find an Indian because the population is so high. Now, what is the drawback over here? The problem is when you have so many Indians, it becomes less of a novelty and it becomes more of a another Indian. And keep this in mind. If you follow the Pareto principle of 80-20, if 20% is high quality, 80% is, let's say, average. So now there are very slim chances that you would see a majority of quality Indians. You will see a majority of average Indians. And the problem with average Indians is, the typical, like the jokes on Simpson or Apu or yes sir, no sir, okay sir, yes sir, nodding the head and all that. So what happens is they have this image about Indians, the curry eating, funny smelling, pungent smelling, yes sir, no sir, nodding the head. So that is what they think of Indians, the funny sounding. That's a real unfortunate thing. On top of that, you had India, which was a closed economy, all of a sudden opened up. People started to get money and they started to travel. And now Indians, suddenly they've got this freedom to travel around the world and they just don't know how to behave. Not all of them, but most of them don't know how to behave. That is why you have these really embarrassing stories of Indians going abroad and making noise, and in a buffet they will take food and put it in their bags, or they'll go to a hotel and they just steal toiletries and all that. So it's because our Indians are suddenly exposed to this world outside. And if you think that I'm giving you wrong information, remember, if you go to a train in India, a local train or something, the soap dispenser and all that, there is a lock and chain. Because people will steal it, So the oversupply of Indians is a major issue. And to add to that problem is the oversupply of Indians, but that also where you bump into bad quality Indians. And it just takes one to spoil the name of many. So just imagine when you bump into so many, what is the impression? Like even here in Thailand, I'll tell you, if you say you're an Indian, so they go like this. Don't get me wrong. Many people think I'm from New Zealand. They think I'm from Australia because my appearance is not the typical Indian. So when they look at me, they're like, "Where are you from?" So I tell them, "Yes." So they will say Australia. They will say UK. They will say all the countries except India. And when I tell them India, they go, "Huh? What?" So the reason being is Indians they have their reputation that precedes them, which I'll speak on more. So the first one is the oversupply of Indians. Okay. The second point is which adds to the previous one, is the perception and the prejudice that Indians have to face. Yeah, you can't help it that the media portrays Indians in the 70s and 80s. It was more like a Sardar, a guy with the turban, and who'd have snake charmers sitting on a carpet. That was the perception of Indians. The magic carpet Indian, climbing on a rope. And then after that, you had the perception of Indians being like a Maharaja. And later on, it became more of the humorous comedy types. You could see in Hollywood where they have stereotypical Indians, Apu and yes sir, okay, all those accents. So they never looked upon Indians as being, the smart ones. Lately, they started coming with Indians are good at maths, Indians are good at science, but they never looked upon as enterprising. Okay, fine. You might say, oh, Tata and this and that. And those are very few, man. The majority of them still look at Indians as the typical, if you just Google search, especially if you see these Hindi movies, I'll tell you, I have so many friends who are from UK, US, and they're like, oh, you wear a sari, ning, 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 move your head and all that. So many of them still have that feeling. That is why Shashi Tharoor is a kind of breath of fresh air. And that is why, in some ways, having Narendra Modi, it's like they have this image that all Indians are Hindu nationals. That's the kind of thing. So one is the perception, which is a major problem, and another one is a prejudice. There's always a prejudice based on, what the media portrays. Okay. Then point number 3 is the majority of Indians lack global experience. See, India is a very large place. Okay. The south of India is different. The east of India is different. The west of India is different. The north of India is different. Even the central part of India is different. And each one is totally unique in itself. So just traveling around India itself is a Herculean task. Then just imagine people they think that they know the world because they are based in India. But the minute they go out of India, it's a shock for them because they realize, oh shit, things are so different here. I would tell you, if you travel to France, if you travel to Dublin, if you travel to Ireland, you travel to United States, when you see an Indian, you can make out it's an Indian, with the typical sari, or the father wearing white shirt, white trouser, Bermudas, white socks with white shoes, and wearing a white cap, and it looks like he's playing tennis. And if you see an Indian going to the beach, you'll always see an Indian wearing jeans and a t-shirt. I mean, you're going to the fucking beach, man. So, it's because they're suddenly being exposed to the real world outside. It's a global economy. So they still lack the experience, and they need time to get accustomed. And that is why when you see Indian tourists when they land, I'll tell you here even in Samui, I was at the airport when suddenly I heard a real loud noise, very noisy group of people. And as the noise started to get closer, they're laughing, they're shouting, As it started coming closer, I was like, fuck, they're speaking in Hindi. And the typical Indian, the statement, अरे तेरी माँ की बहन चौथ है, लवड़े तेरा ये वो, अरे उसको देख है भोसड़ी के, and this and that. That's how they were talking. It's like, what the fuck? And I'll tell you the shamelessness of how they behave. Like, for example, they were asking this lady, can you give me directions? When she was talking, they were actually mocking her in Hindi. अरे बेंचो उसका ये देख वो देख अरे चिंगचोंग में बात कर. It was very demeaning, So this is what happens with the majority of them. Okay, so the lack of global experience is another big problem. Number 4, I would say, is a problem that is within India itself, and that is the lack of unity. I'll tell you, I've never seen a country more divided within itself. It's at its worst. You have people from, just like now we can see in the United States. In India, it's even more worse. You have BJP versus Congress. You have Muslims versus Hindus. You have Keralites versus, let's say, Delhi or Bombay versus Bihar. I mean, there is no unity. They say unity in diversity, but that doesn't exist, And another thing is, they say all Indians are brothers and sisters. What Indians are brothers and sisters? The population is fucking the second highest. Every guy looks at a girl and there's always a sexual undertone. Girls also are no saints. They themselves have their own fucking scandals. So there is a complete lack of unity, which is another problem. Point number 5. This one is big time. What you don't know, you will not know. And until you know what you don't know if you know it. I think one of the major factors that affect Indians is ignorance. They really have no fucking idea what they're talking about. That is why I'll tell you today, talk to so many Indians on WhatsApp or anything. They will tell you they know cryptocurrency, they know commodities, they know stocks, they know shares, they know coaching, they know business, they are entrepreneurs. They know everything. The question is, what is it that you don't know? In fact, today our young Indians, especially our youngsters, the reason why they know everything is just because they read a national best-selling book, or or they read Tony Robbins, or they read Should Not Give a Fuck to Anyone, or some book like that, they suddenly think they're overly smart. And that itself stems from ignorance, because you're not aware of what the fuck you don't know. And that leads to my next point, number 6, is because of this, they tend to be arrogant. They tend to be so fucking arrogant that talking to them is like talking to, talking to a person who's deaf. No matter what you say, they're not ready to listen because they feel they know more than anyone else. Try talking to an Indian student about who knows a little bit about cryptocurrencies, who knows a little bit about politics, who knows a little bit about, running a, let's say, online website, or who calls himself an entrepreneur. They will always act like they know more than you. In fact, I get so many 20-year-olds, 16-year-olds, or 20-year-olds who talk to me, hey, bro, and they'll start giving me advice on life. I mean, that is a level of ignorance. And that moves to the next point, number 7. I think that all stems from being defensive. They are very afraid. Our Indians are very afraid of being made fun of. I think they're very afraid of someone trying to, attack them. So they tend to be very defensive. And that is why if you question them, whether it's their religion, whether it's their political views, or they get very defensive. And it ends up with, always profanities or personal attacks. And that's a really sad thing, I'll tell you that. Point number 8, this is one thing Indians are very good at, and that is arguing and debating. Okay? And they have the energy to argue and debate. You want proof and evidence of this? Just look at, what is that journalist or that media guy, Arvind Goswami. That is the classic method of communication of Indians, shouting and screaming at, oh, you cannot talk to me like this. You have to keep quiet. I'm going to talk, blah, blah, blah. Oh my goodness. Listening to them gives me a splitting headache. I mean, just listen to the debates at Oxford or Harvard or Intelligence Square debate. It's so classy. But when you listen to this Arvind Goswami, and people actually enjoy it. People actually like that kind of shouting and screaming. So this kind of arguing and debating, it really does not help. Then point number 9 is Indians seriously lack the ability to communicate clearly. See, you speak to any Indian, did you understand? Yes, sir, yes, sir. Okay, sir, okay, sir. And then if you ask them, okay, can you tell me what did you understand? And I can assure you this much, he would not be able to communicate to you what you just said. He would not be able to articulate his views. In fact, why do you think so many Indians with so much of experience, so much of expertise, so much of, talent, you ask them to market or sell themselves? Zero. Absolute zeros. The majority of them just don't know how to sell them. The only thing they'll say, please, sir, give me a chance, sir. Yes, sir, please, sir. That is not communication. That is, I don't know, that is just blabbering something, Then point number 10 is, I think this has started to happen lately, and that is we have given rise to a new breed of internet keyboard warriors, where they are experts online. They are not experts in real life. They are not successful in real life. They are nothing in real life. But online, they are amazing. They are the greatest, most knowledgeable, smartest people in the world. Here's news flash for you. The internet world or the online world is not real. It is just a facade. Your reality is what you're currently earning. Your current reality is what you're currently earning, what people identify you as, and what people are willing to pay you money for. What you show online, from your Facebook to your Instagram to all those images, that is all a made-up fake image, which is so stupid. Then point number 11. This one, I think, stems from the tradition and culture, that is Indian submissiveness. In a way, that's good because they respect their elders. They always respect their elders. They respect the people, like Guru Dakshina. They respect their teachers. But then this spills over into the corporate world, where it becomes, yes, sir, no, sir, please, sir, this, sir, that, sir. And I think what really makes me sick to the stomach is this is not genuine. This is fake. See, I'm all for respecting elders. I'm all for respecting teachers. I myself, if I respect someone, I don't have any issues calling them sir. Okay? And that is out of respect. But doing it in a manipulative manner just to gain favors, Please sir, no sir. And if you say no, "Arey, teri maa ki benchot sale," all of a sudden you start using bad words. I mean, then that's fake. So that is where it loses its, authenticity. It loses its beauty. And point number 12, I think most of the Indians, they really suffer from low self-esteem. Quite a number of them, a huge number of them. And they try to be who they are not. Either they manipulate their photographs, or they use filters for their images or videos, or they show larger than life. I have literally seen students, who say, "Oh, I'm a TEDx speaker." So what the fuck is the big deal? You're a TEDx speaker. Anyone can fucking organize a TEDx. And then you have these boys who don't have any experience in the world. They've just joined some internet marketing or the ClickFunnels, and they call themselves success coach, business consultant. Yeah, there are some people who have even tried to copy what I do, branding strategist and all. Man, you're just fucking 20 years old. What fucking strategy and what fucking advice you're going to give in life, man? Even me, at the age of 44, I'm still fucking learning. So this fake it till you make it doesn't fucking work, man. And then they join these groups where everyone's like, just feeding into their, fanning their ego and making them feel great. This doesn't fucking work. So it's really sad that, they want to show larger than life on the internet. Okay, coming to the next point is I think I don't know if I finished low self-esteem. Point number 12. Okay, point number 12 is low self-esteem, where I think they just want to show you what they are not. I think that is a major headache with low self-esteem. Okay, point number 13 is people tend to think. Now this is the problem with the Indians. Indians, they believe that they will spend in rupees. Okay, they will think in rupees, but they want to earn in dollars. Okay, let that sink in. They will think rupees, but they want to earn in dollars. That is why whenever, I've met so many people who want jobs in the Middle East, want to migrate to the United States, Canada. And then when you check their profile and all that, it is so typical Indian, so very typical Indian. Then I tell them, see, listen, if you want to earn in dollars, US dollars and big amounts, you need to fit the profile. And then immediately, without a heartbeat, they will say, "Sir, no money, sir, I don't know." And then if you ask them, "How much are you earning?" Some of them, I've lately started bumping into these people, I think maybe because of the pandemic. They earn 1,000 rupees. And then they say, "I want to go to the Gulf." They call the Middle East Gulf. Or they want to go to the West, where they call it Canada, US, New Zealand, Australia. And if they're earning $1,000 in India, and if you ask them, "How much do you want to earn abroad?" 10,000, sir, $10,000. You're earning $1,000 in India. For the same job profile, you want to earn $10,000. And then when I ask them, "What makes you think that?" "Oh, sir, the exchange rate, the cost of living. I have to live a better life." But you know what the problem is? You look like an Indian, you sound like an Indian, you behave like an Indian, you smell like one. Everything about you is that typical Indian. Then you fit well in the Indian market. But now if you want to move to the global market, you need to look, act, and behave global. And then when you tell them that, "Sir, please help me, sir, please help me." No, you pay money for it. "No, sir, I don't have money, sir." So this, the mentality of thinking in rupees, but wanting to earn big money doesn't work out. Then point number 14 is, it's a very sad tragedy that Indians really do not know how to sell and market and brand themselves in the global arena. I'm not even exaggerating. My open challenge to you is, look at anybody's resume from the West, from Australia, Canada, USA, and look at a typical Indian CV, and you'll get to know what I'm saying. And especially most of these Indians in the Middle East, really, I don't know, it's sad. Some of them just don't understand the fact that they were just lucky to get the job that they have, Then point number 15. Now this is where the Indian mentality bit comes in. Point number 15, the Indian mentality of cheap. They always want to be cheap. They want the cheapest and the bestest. That is why even if I think this is best displayed when they're buying vegetables or when they're buying fish or they're going shopping. Kitna ka diya? They'll ask how much. And whatever number you say, they will say, like 20 or 30% less. So that is why in India, the vegetable sellers, the vendors, they will always say 20% more because they know they'll have to give 20% less. Now, the problem over here is Indians tend to do this everywhere. In fact, here we have this walking street where they have fixed pricing, like 20 baht, 30 baht, which is not too expensive. Especially for, tourists, they hike up the price a little bit more, okay? It's always, I'm telling you, 100 out of 100 times, it's always the Indians who will bargain. You'll see a European or American, they will say, how much for this? $2. Okay, thank you. If they want, they'll take it. Or they don't want, they'll just leave it. But in Indian, how much? $2. Okay, how much is this? Okay, $2. Last price, how much? Okay, if I buy both, how much? Okay, if I buy 5, how much? So, you just stand and you listen to it and you know for a fact this guy is an Indian. So, this bargaining mentality is looked down upon by certain cultures, and that is where it comes across as cheap. And this unfortunate thing is they will bargain with onions, they will bargain with fish, they'll bargain with food, they'll bargain with vendors. But when it comes to an iPhone or something where they have to splurge money on an expensive car, that they will waste money. Okay, so that cheap mentality is really bad. Point number 16, the Indian mentality of backstabbing. I mean, I have yet to meet another culture where they backstab as badly as Indians. Our Indians, I do not know what it is, but they love backstabbing each other. It's not that they do it with other cultures, they do it within themselves. I don't know why Indians find Indians only the biggest threat. I think that is something the British identified, and that is why the divide and rule rule was put into place, which was so successful. Our Indians love backstabbing their own people. And you check in any organization anywhere, our Indians will backstab our Indians only. Point number 17, the Indian mentality of racism. Indians complain of racism. Oh, he was racist towards me. Do you know that our Indians are the most racist in the world towards themselves? The proof of this, check the Indian before the British. There were how many castes, scheduled castes, scheduled tribes, Brahmins, Kshatriyas, Kshatriyas, whatever. There were so many. Even in Muslims, there were even in so many religions. And then they have so many regions and they have so many caste systems and levels. Where does this originate from? So that is why this habit has not yet gone. In fact, even today, when marriages take place, they still check your caste. They still check, your religion. They still check your background. This kind of racist attitude will never change, and it still exists. Then point number 18 is Indians never mind their own business. They have to mind other people's business. And the best proof of this is go to a church, go to a temple, go to a mosque, or go just below down your building, where they have these buildings, this community, society, and see 3 or 4 ladies standing together, or see 3 or 4 men standing there. They will always comment on somebody else. Arey, usko dekh yaar. क्या डाल रही है, क्या पहन रही है यार, अरे रंडी की जैसे this and that. And even the ladies, हाय राम, उसको देख, she, वो क्या कर रही है. They just have to gossip and talk about every fucking body else. But they themselves are very clean. They themselves are saints. So this minding other people's business is total fuckhole. Then point number 19, the Indian mentality. And this is where politics comes into play. This I just found out lately. I didn't know this existed only after I created my WhatsApp groups. The obsession to politics is sickening, and it is so divisive and so negative. I would tell you that the entire collapse of the Indian culture, the Indian unity, is because of politics. And believe it or not, the politicians are milking this to their advantage because you have so many ignorant people. People are ready to fight, kill, stab. I don't know. It goes to the extreme where if you attack their leaders, it's just with an opinion, they'll want to destroy you. It is that obsessive because they kind of identify themselves with their politics. Then point number 20 is the Indian mentality of educational titles. These rank holders. It is, I don't know, it is inbred in the Indian culture that when you get a rank, Oh, my daughter's first rank. Oh, my son got first rank. They are so proud about it as if it's something great. Even today in the Middle East, when somebody passes an exam, CBSE, oh, she got 99.9%, 98. What's the fucking deal? It's just memorization. You're talking of a skill of memorization. Whatever the fuck is written in the book, the whole fucking thing you gobble up and swallow, and then you regurgitate, just vomit the whole fucking thing out. That is what you're doing in school. But if you actually look at it, my open challenge to you, all the rank holders in the world, they end up working as an employee for somebody. And that somebody is always a college dropout, a rebel, a person who takes risks, and is never a person who has a rank. None of the businessmen who I know, men and women, have been rank holders. But I can assure you, the ones who stick around for a very long time in the same position, they are all rank holders. What's the big fucking deal about rank holders? The way they praise and they show off, it's as if, they have a gold-plated penis or a diamond-studded set of genitals. I don't know what's so fucking great. Yes, there is something to admire that you spend time, disciplined yourself to memorize, but memorization doesn't help you in the real world. Today, if I need to find information, I can Google online, I can check Wikipedia, I can check information. What's the big fucking deal of being a rank holder? It's still so shocking that people give so much importance, especially our Indian parents, a rank holder. Then point number 21, they take a great deal of pride of all these titles and trophies that you have. Like, oh my God, my son is an MBA. Oh, he got a degree, he got a PhD. My son is a doctor. He's an engineer. He's an astronaut. And that is why even if you check in the marriage websites, the shadi.com, oh, we are looking for a PhD, we are looking for a master degree, or we are looking for someone who is, who's a director, they go so badly into these titles. Oh, our son is a doctor, our daughter is highly educated. They take so much of pride into all these titles and trophies. That is why these marriages end up in miserable endings. Because they're not looking for the individual. They're looking for, it's like the best bargains in town. It becomes a business strategy. It looks like more like they're selling their daughter's vagina, okay, to the best bidder. All you can eat. Eat all you want. This is fresh. But for this is the price. And, the parents who have their sons it looks like they're selling their sons. Oh, we want this much dowry, this much cash in exchange for our son's exclusive use of his balls and his appendage. What the fuck? I mean, it's so sickening, these titles and trophies. Oh, what have you done? Oh, what is your job? Oh, where you have a visa? Oh, which country? Nowadays, even the passport. Oh, he has a British citizenship. He's American citizen. Shut the fuck up. Then point number 22 is the sad fact that Indian education is totally outdated. I've spoken about this before. It's sad, but they still follow the industrial complex. But here's the tragedy. What is the other solution? We just don't have a solution. So until then, the only thing left is to memorize. When Akbar conquered this thing, and when Aurangzeb did that, and when Taj Mahal was built, and when Gandhi fought some independence, I don't know. I still have to think about how chemistry or algebra, all that help in real life. Although I do tell people education is important, but the way our Indian education is being made, and especially when you have such bad salaries for teachers, and you have one teacher teaching 60 or 100 students, I mean, what quality of brains are coming out of the schools? Nothing but totally empty-minded, want to be something on the internet youngsters, Then point number 23 is religion and superstition, which sadly is still dominant in India. Even today, people believe you have bath in the Ganga water, you drink the piss of a cow, cow is God, pray to your gods, even Christians, even Muslims. Religion is so inbred. They go to a sadhu, check my lines, check the stars, check the kundli, check the kundi. I understand spirituality. And yeah, and here's another thing. You speak to any Indian, they want to show that they're very forward thinking. Oh, I'm not religious. I'm spiritual. What the fuck is that supposed to mean? You're still following a religion, right? Yeah. Oh, no, no, no. I'm spiritual. That's the same shit, man. It's like just saying, I'm not a prostitute, but I don't mind sleeping around. It's as stupid as that. Point number 24 is the level of corruption that is there in India. And I'll tell you this will never go. No matter what you do, corruption will forever remain. And why is it a problem? Is someone with pure talent, someone who deserves a reward due to merit, will never be considered. And it's all because of corruption. And that is the reason why so many Indians, they get disillusioned and they leave India. In fact, just check the very fact to get admission in some of the top colleges. It is so fucking hard, man. Either you have to be obsessed to the point of not having a life for 20 years just to get that percentage, and there are no chances that you might get that, or you'll have to bribe through your nose millions just to get where you want to reach. So 24 is corruption, and this is where many people lose faith in the system. That is why our roads are shit. The medical facilities are crap. The educational services are bad. Job opportunities, it's all because of corruption. Then point number 25 is, I think this is the problem that has started now. Are Indians trying to emulate the West? I think it's a massive identity crisis where they are trying to be who they are not because they find the West being cool. I'm not saying girls or guys should not be modern, but it, you're trying to be the West while trying to keep your Eastern values. It's like, okay, putting jeans is okay, open tone jeans, drinking alcohol, smoking, and sleeping around, fine. All that you want to show, okay, you're modern. But then when you start getting named and shamed, then you say, oh, this is so bad. They shared my nude pictures with everyone. They're calling me a slut and all that. I mean, you are trying to be westernized in an Eastern society. How does that work? And you expect the whole world to change just because you want to have the best of the West. Remember, yin and yang. You take the best, you'll also get the worst. So I feel Indians, they're trying to be who they're not. They're trying to put on an accent. How many Indians do you know who are trying to, oh, hi, my name is Raj Kumar, and hi, like Priyanka Chopra putting on a fucking accent. You can clearly make out, man. Then point number 26 is, I think this is lately started after Modi came in existence, or I don't know if it was there before, but nationalism. And I think the decline of any culture or country stems from nationalism. If you are a nationalistic person where your country can do no wrong, your political party can do nothing, no bad, it's a very serious bad thing. And I see most of the hatred coming due to this. And last but not the least, point number 27 is, I think our outdated Indian culture and thinking of double standards. They have a different set of rules for men. They have a different set of rules for women. They have a different set of rules for you. They have a different set of rules for me. They have a different set of rules for themselves. Like, just think about it. A boy, if they have a boy, he can go to a pub and drink with his friends. But if you have a daughter, she can't do that. A boy can go sleep around with different girls, but that's okay. Girl cannot go and sleep around with different guys. So why are those rules? In fact, during marriage, the boy should be, he can fuck everything that has a hole. But the girl, she has just one boyfriend. Oh, she's a slut. She has no values. The boy can have 110 girlfriends, but when he's getting married, he wants to marry someone pure. So this double standards, which is existed not only in relationship but in everything else, I think is one of the major factors why Indians will find it very hard to succeed. So overall, there are still so many areas that we can point out, but I felt these were the main areas why Indians cannot succeed, or why Indians, with all the talent in the world, they'll find it hard to succeed. So I'll put them down point by point in the comment section below. You let me know, what do you agree, what do you disagree with? Do you think I'm right? Do you think I'm wrong? And what do you think is the solution? Because I don't know. I have been trying to break my head. I'm finding it very hard to think of a solution. So anyway, this is what I feel. Like they say, the first step is always awareness. I just thought I'd share this with you. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. I'd love to hear from you. This is me signing off. You guys take care.